Hello and welcome to episode number 21 of No Whining. I'm so glad to have you with me and I'm excited to get into these two wines today. Let's get rolling. For episode number 21, this is a 2021 Carl Everson Chenin Blanc. This is about a $20 bottle of wine, so actually quite a pocketbook friendly price point on this one. The producer is Opstal and the region is Slanghooke Valley, which is due west of Worcester in the Breed River Valley in South Africa. This is a single vineyard wine, meaning it's not cobbled together from a bunch of different areas. Now this makes for a pure representation of what the French call terroir. In other words, the soil, the topography, the climate, all the environmental factors of a specific area or vineyard site. Some information from the tech sheet. The 2021 vintage showed a lot of restraint at first, but then opens up to show the distinctive depth and complexity of fruit we've learned to appreciate and love of the Carl Everson Chenin. Is again on show with the 2021. These precious 39-year-old vines, older French oak, spontaneous fermentation, and minimalistic cellar intervention in the end proclaim our Slanghooke terroir through this wine. The ripening season was normal and without extremes. A cold and wet winter followed by moderate temperatures through the start of summer. On the 7th of March, though, we had a massive downpour of rain. Now, it's worth pausing here for just a moment and reflecting on the fact that, again, grape harvesting, while in the northern hemisphere where I'm located right now, takes place between around August and October, somewhere in there, just depending on the number of factors. It's going to take place between February and April in the southern hemisphere. Right? In other words, in South Africa. So keeping that in mind, that's a real key component here. So then going back again, it says, on the 7th of March, though, we had a massive downpour of rain, which pushed our harvest date a little earlier in this vineyard, as I wanted most of the fruit in before that. I believe the somewhat forced earlier pick, together with the use of larger oak than before, and coupled with only partial completion of malolactic fermentation, resulted in a wine that is more balanced. The wine spent a total of 10 months in older French oak before bottling. Now, we're going to be tasting, I just want you to know, some more Chenins in the very near future, so pay really close attention to the style of this Chenin today. All right, let's dig right in. All right, looking at this as a relatively clear and medium gold color. Let's try it on El Schnazo. Decent level of aromatic intensity, I would say probably like medium plus. Right off the bat, I'm getting some green apple, a little bit of lemon, maybe some muscat. Let's see what else is in here. All right, to round out the fruit side, I'm getting a little bit of quince here, but I'm also getting like some creamy notes. I would say sour cream. Let's see what else is in here. I'm getting some lemongrass from this, definitely a little bit of beeswax. I like this a lot on the schnoz. Let's try it on the jaws. Yeah, the lemongrass is coming through, the cream, the citrus, a little bit of butter on that. It's a dry, medium-bodied wine, medium in terms of alcohol. I would say medium plus in terms of acidity. It's really nice on the palate and just has great intensity of aromas and flavor. Again, wonderful smoothness. It's nice and creamy on the palate. It's balanced with solid complexity and kind of leading into a really nice long citrus and buttery finish. So this Chenin is very impressive to me, and it's amazing because this is a $20 bottle of wine, so that is absolutely worth it. I would say that is a freaking steal at that price point. Wine number one has definitely hit the spot for me. Let's get into wine number two. This is a 2020 Château Nozières Cahors, and this is about $20 as well, so that seems to be the magical price point for today's episode. The grape variety on this is 85% Malbec, 15% Merlot. The region, of course, is Cahors in southwest France. Cahors rests along the Lot River. This is southeast of Bordeaux, and here's some information from the tech sheet itself. A traditionally fermented wine which preserves the fruitiness and roundness with a supple and well-balanced structure. 20 to 30-year-old vines with yields of 50 hectoliters per hectare. Harvesting was done by machine with a manual follow-up, a traditional fermentation and thermoregulated vats for 2 weeks. Maturation i.e. aging, in a classic manner in concrete and stainless steel vats for 18 months. Now, that's very interesting, right? Because concrete and stainless steel vats are inert containers versus oak. Now, oak would normally impart to a wine vanilla, toast, or spice notes, but this was again in concrete and stainless steel vats. And so it sounds like what they're looking to do is be very protective of the aromatic qualities, right? Like the fruit aromas, any floral aromas of this wine. So that's an interesting decision on the winemaking process itself. I want you as well to pay attention to this Malbec really closely as you taste it, because in the next episode, we're going to be tasting one from Argentina to get a contrasting sense of these different styles and qualities and characteristics coming from these very different regions. Okay, let's get into wine number 2. Wow, this is a really deep purple color, I would say, from the center of my glass all the way out to the rim. Let's give it to the schnoz for a glance. Wow, that has amazing, like delicious black plum aromas, maybe overripe raspberries, ripe strawberry, even a little bit of bramble, I would say, is in there. Let's go in for another glance. Wow, it's got some floral aromas, right? And this is where this piece comes out about the way that they aged this wine, wanting to preserve these fruit and these floral aromas, and they did a brilliant job of it because I'm picking up violets on this as well, which is really nice. So amazing bright fruit aromas, again floral. So far this is a hit. Let's go in one more time. Well, I'm getting basil off of this, even I would say a little bit of sandalwood, some butterscotch too. So this is delightful on the nose. Let's give it to the palate for a taste. Wow, that dark fruit is still in there. Really, really nice on that. But it's evolving. There's some more complexity that's coming up on the palate now. I'm getting some smoke, a little bit of coffee, leather, tobacco. Gosh, this is amazing complexity-wise. I'm really surprised because this is a $20 bottle of wine. And to be honest with you, I did not expect much from this particular wine coming into it. But it is proving me very wrong, as once again, the French have been doing ever since I was razzing them a few episodes ago, which I felt was very justified. However, they have pulled out all the stops and made some amazing wines pass through my lips since that time. This wine is dry, definitely earns the rank of full body in my book. It's medium plus in terms of acidity. Alcohol is pretty high, probably like 14 and a half, somewhere around there. The tannins are probably medium plus as well, but they're not very noticeable because they're like nice and soft and plush. So it's got an amazing kind of texture. Absolutely fantastic, inviting and complex on the nose, and then you get more of the same once you get to the palate, where it's got this surprising array of all these savory flavors into a nice, really long earth, coffee, tobacco finish. I am pretty blown away by this, and maybe it's because I didn't expect much coming into it, but to be honest with you, like a French wine like this for $20, this is stinking fantastic. Like I'm really surprised, and I am gonna go back to the wine store and pick up a few more bottles for sure. Okay, let's bring these both in and get a verdict for the day. I'm gonna buy more bottles of both these wines. Honestly, they're that good, especially for $20. This is a steal. I need to get back there before they all get snatched up, but we do have to pick a winner today, and so I will. I'm wondering what you're feeling at home. Which one did you like? What did you like about it, right? Like getting into that really thoughtful nature of what was it that you enjoyed? What were the different pieces that made the experience memorable, enjoyable for you? That's really important. And I would say for me that I'm going with the red because it caught me more off guard. It had way more complexity than I paid for, quite frankly. Like I did not pay for this much complexity. I paid for $20 of complexity. This has far more than that. The Chenin does as well, but not quite to the same extent, even though these wines are, once again, razor thin in terms of the margin here. So we're going with the red, we're going with the Malbec from Château in France, and I will see you in episode 22.